which is completely different in regards to all my other videos. I'm completely off the cuff. I don't even have a predetermined topic to talk about, to be fair. I just found this new location. I filmed the first video that I had an understanding for, or not an understanding for, but I had a preconceived notion of what I was going to talk about. And this blows me away, this space, just in the middle of nowhere. And before you ask, yeah, I am from Australia. No, there are no crocodiles in that water. I wouldn't be that game, that's for sure. But yeah, I think I just wanted to take a minute to, if anything, reconnect with life and the beauty of the world. You know, this is a little oasis, I guess, if you want to call it that, a little spot in the middle of, yeah, it's kind of suburbia. It's a built up area. There's a school not too far that way. There's houses around the back there. It's close enough that I can hear a siren in the background. But there's just so much wildlife here. Like, there's an abundance of birds. Like, I couldn't tell you how many different species of bird there are here. And even the types of trees and shrubs and plants around it, yeah, it's very tranquil. It's an old dam that was made, I mean, this ramp's new, but the dam itself, in the 1800s, it's been here for a while, and they've just left it and then built up around it. Yeah, it's amazing. So I guess I just wanted to share a bit of beauty with you. Got a friend just over here. Hopefully he's in camera shot. I'm pretty sure I got that in shot. I'm not even sure what kind of type of bird he is, to be fair. If you know, drop a comment. He's a big boy. He's not a... I don't think it's a pelican. If it is, he's got his beak and everything around the other side of his body. So it's possible. They're a big bird that we do get around, but usually they're out near the shore, near the beach. And we're not near a beach here, despite the water. This is fresh water. But yeah, I think if there's something that I was going to talk about in this video, impromptu-wise, it would be the importance in reconnecting with nature. So no, for me, it does a hell of a lot for my mental health being in places like this that are not too far from home. It's really on my back doorstep. And I can drive even further to get to real, more isolated locations. And I may do that one day. I've only started this journey, and I try to find new places to film closer to home, after work. I've done a couple of walk and talk videos I managed to find time for on a weekend, but really just started 2 months in, finding my feet, finding my place, or places. So finding my place on YouTube is one thing, finding my place in reality, this is another thing, and this is beautiful. You know, despite the sun being out and the beautiful reflection it's casting off the water, it's actually cold. It's our winter. In saying that though, the sun is behind some cloud. We're supposed to get some weather coming in today and across tomorrow. And for those of you who don't know, I live in Brisbane, Australia, which is part of the state of Queensland. I live a considerable way north of the city. Well, when I say considerable, what am I? I am, I think, I'm about 50 Ks, not that far, 50 Ks from the city. Yeah, sort of between still calling ourselves Brisbane and getting up towards the Sunshine Coast. But yeah, it's just, this is beautiful. This is what we should live for. We get very, very caught up in day-to-day things, be it work, be it family saga, or even family at the best of times. Current state of the world, I find to be a very crazy, angry, negative space for the majority. It's funny because, well, not funny, it's tragic. For a world that is so connected, or has every chance of being connected, YouTube's one of them, which is where you're going to see this video if you're watching, thank you. But I mean, we've got every form of social media to keep in touch with, by text, by audio, by video. You know, and even though we've got all of that, we've actually become more of a disjointed, isolated society. You know, people don't congregate half as much as they used to. I'm guilty of that. Like, in this world, the way it is, I'd sooner spend time with family. I mean, my children are adults now, but I love just spending time with them. My children are adults, like I said, you know, 3 daughters, youngest is 19, oldest is 25. And yeah, I used to love playing around, mucking around with them. It's always been a thing. Positive distraction. You'll hear me refer to that at times. There's both positive and negative. This is a positive distraction. Sharing it with you, this is a positive distraction. For the majority of my other videos, sharing insight, some knowledge, some ways to get by. And maybe there's still something we take out of this video, even though I didn't plan it, in regards to the importance of reconnecting with nature. Wherever you are in the world and whatever you're doing, doesn't mean you have to go completely off-grid, out back, live in a van or something like that. I'm not. I live in a suburban home. We're packed like sardines in a can. There's a small house with a lot of us there, hence I record outdoors. But that's a blessing in disguise. I love coming outdoors and doing this sort of thing. It's wonderful, you know? And I'd really like to encourage you to reconnect with nature. It's one of the truest things we can do as humans. It's kind of sad that we don't look after the world like we should have and should do. Like, we call ourselves an intelligent species, right? Compared to other species on the planet, because we can read, write, you know, we can communicate, we can create. So you can imagine things, invent things, build things. So it separates us from other species. But you'd think if we were the intelligent species and we're going to naturally, well, not naturally, but we have put ourselves at the top above all other species, shouldn't we be safeguarding all the other beautiful creatures that share this planet? I think so. You know, not that everyone can be a David Attenborough of the world. Bless that man's soul. He's an awesome conservationist and lover of all things living. But we can do our part. I'd love to see more of that going forward, rather than every second day it's something about warfare, or, you know, the risk of war or terror or something else that you know you can't escape when it comes to world news now. It's tragic. This all matters more, you know. That's not to take away from those that are impacted by war. My heart's with you every step of the way. I don't agree with it. Whatever side of war you're on, it's wrong. There is no winner in war. You know, in fact, the human race loses as a whole, as a collective. The fact that we are so primitive in that regard, that we feel that we have to beat our chests to be better than another nation and attack them with violence. It's, yeah, I think I said intelligent species before. That's what we're referred to as. It's not, doesn't mean I agree with it. Yeah, but sorry, I don't mean to turn my back on you. It's just so tranquil. I'm sure you can hear a lot of those birds through my microphone. The other thing that's really cool about this spot is, and hopefully not too much wind is coming in on the mic, but even if there's wind coming in on the mic, trust me, I'm basically in a copse of trees that surround me, right? It goes right the way around, like an oval around this dam, and it's sheltering me from the wind. I can still see the wind in the trees, but it's not blowing too heavily where I'm at. That's good in itself, because winter time here in Queensland is very windy. It's a windy time of year. Usually not so wet, but this is also a wet time of year. And so me wanting to film outdoors, it's nice to find places like this that are sheltered. So, as well as beautiful. So this is my studio. What do you reckon? Rated out of 10. And I guess while we're at it, seeing as we're sort of flying off the cuff in this conversation, what do you want from me? You know, if you connect with me, I'd really like to hear in the comments what it is about me that you like. And ideally what the material is that you'd like. So for those who haven't been here before, welcome. And for those that are returning, welcome. Everyone's welcome. I love anyone that drops by, watches my content, and even if you learn nothing from it, hopefully you just get a sense of, that was pleasant to watch. If that happens, I've done my job. Well, it's not a job, but I've done what I'm here to do. So I like to create something to share, but hopefully help in the same regard at the same time. And yeah, so that's what I do. I am here to help predominantly those sort of over the age of 40, like me. I'm 49. So anyone that's discovering this bit of a gap in their life, or they might be feeling down because they realize that there's fewer years ahead of them now than there were before. And there's not a definitive time in our life where we sort of feel that or see that. And some of us may never feel that. I don't know whether that's a good thing or not, but you know, for me, it's only recently have I felt or really felt my own mortality and acknowledged the fact that there were fewer years ahead of me than behind. You know, some people might go, oh mate, you're only 49, what are you worried about? Well, if I'm to look at the lifespans of family members on either side of my family, very lucky if you make it to 70. So, and that's not from just unhealthy lifestyle. It's just, I guess it's not all genes either. It can just happen. But so far so good, feeling pretty healthy. So yeah, and so I help people just find their way, hopefully. I started off this channel by being quite copycat heavy, because that's what I'd heard from the gurus on YouTube, that I should find material, you know, copy titles, not copy the content, but get a feeling for their content and make it my own. And so I did that, but some of my earlier videos, they're really not suited to someone that's only just starting YouTube. And I realized that. So, but ironically, I've made the videos now. If my channel's still around in a year's time and I do become a successful channel, ironically, those videos would actually hold some weight, although reverse engineered, because I've talked about them before I became successful or big or had many likes or subscribers and that sort of thing. So yeah, so this is going to be the new direction of my channel. Just feels more natural to get out and have a yarn. Really want to connect with people that are in a similar situation to me. But by similar, when I say you might have a gap, and I feel that gap can be filled largely with creativity, but that gap can come about for different reasons, Mine's because my children are growing up and they've got their own lives, and I realise that for the last sort of like 25, 30 years, it's all been about my wife, or then girlfriend when I first met her, and then kids when they come along. That's sucked up all the time in my life, and it's been the best time in my life. I'm not taking away from that at all. But that distraction, it is a positive distraction. It's distracted me from things that I liked in the creative space. And so that's why I've come back to it, creating videos, and I may do other things on the side too. But yeah, so there's no point dragging this out, even though it is a beautiful surrounding. And I'm always fond of talking to you. So I'm definitely going to be here for the long haul. I'm going to keep releasing these videos. We're going to keep having a yarn, catching up about stuff that matters. And yeah, if this does resonate with you, you know what to do. I'm not going to go on. Any support is very, very welcome. And yeah, until next time, please look after yourself.